Joshua Zirkzee has revealed Bruno Fernandes told him to savour the moment after ending his goal drought in Manchester United's 4-0 win over Everton at Old Trafford on Sunday. Making his first start in the Premier League since September, Zirkzee helped himself to a brace, scoring either side of half-time, to score for the first time since United's 1-0 win over Fulham on the opening night of the season in August. Operating as the number 9, Zirkzee put United 2-0 up just before half-time when Fernandes teed him up to convert from inside the 18-yard box. You could sense the outpour of emotion from the Dutchman as he raced away to celebrate just his second goal in United colours. And he admitted post-match that Fernandes told him to savour the moment. "There is no better stadium to score in," Zirkzee told MUTV. "I wanted to enjoy the moment, and Bruno told me to take my moment as well. But I think I moved a little bit too quick back to the players for the restart. It is a nice feeling scoring in front of these fans." Zirkzee was a surprise inclusion in United's attack after Rasmus Højlund scored twice against Bodo Glimt in midweek. Having helped himself to a brace of his own, however, Amorim is getting a tune out of all of his attackers. "I think what Amorim asked for from the strikers is something very different to what me and Rasmus are used to," Zirkzee admitted. "We are just trying to adapt very quick and do what he expects of us." Having won 2 of their first 3 matches under Amorim, Zirkzee admitted the players are enjoying life under the new boss. He added, "Good. We are bonding really good. There are some strong connections. We all just want one thing, and that is to be better every day and be back to top level in the league. There are some good spirits." Bakary Sagna believes Paul Pogba would jump at the chance of joining Manchester United for a 3rd time in order to work with Ruben Amorim. The French World Cup winner is currently without a club after mutually agreeing to terminate his Juventus contract earlier this month, having played just 12 games during his second stint with the Serie A giants. Pogba's free agent status comes on the back of being slapped with a 4-year doping ban in September 2023 after taking an illegal substance. Facing the potential end of his footballing career, the 31-year-old's suspension was reduced to 18 months by the Court of Arbitration for Sport (CAS) earlier this year, who adjudged Pogba to have unintentionally taken the substance. The ruling means that the France international can return to training in January and can start playing for a club in March. Still only 31 years of age, Pogba's quality remains, and a potentially stunning return to Manchester, 2 years after leaving the club for a second time, could be on the cards, according to his former France colleague in Sagna. The ex-Arsenal and Manchester City defender believes the opportunity to work under Amorim could result in Pogba donning the United shirt once again. Sagna, 41, told Megadice, "It's a different situation today at Manchester United to when Paul was previously there. United have a young coach, a coach that has been a player, a coach that understands the situation," he explained. He will probably be willing to have a player like Paul at his training sessions. Amorim was a player himself, so I'm sure the coach will be open to seeing him getting back home because he loves United. I have talked many times with Paul. He loves United. The only problem was the situation when he came back. That was a spell where things didn't go as well as they should have done, but Paul wasn't the only player that struggled at United during the time he was there. United have struggled in midfield as of late due to injuries to Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte. It was a duo of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen who started in United's 1-1 draw with Ipswich Town, with both players subbed off in the second half. Few players have benefited more from Manchester United's decision to sack Erik ten Hag than Manuel Ugarte. The defensive midfielder, who joined United from Paris Saint-Germain on the final day of the summer transfer window, struggled for minutes prior to the Dutchman's exit on October 28th, making just 7 appearances, only 4 of which were starts. United spent almost all summer chasing Ugarte in their quest to shore up their midfield, and they reached a breakthrough in negotiations in the closing stages of the transfer window. He signed a 5-year deal after United agreed a £42.3 million fee with the French club. Ugarte was expected to immediately slot into Ten Hag's first-choice midfield and provide the defensive steel that had been lacking. However, Ten Hag was reluctant to pick him, handing him just 1 Premier League start. It was revealed by the Manchester Evening News at the end of October that the Uruguayan was Ten Hag's third-choice midfield signing during the summer. However, Ten Hag's exit marked a watershed moment in Ugarte's United career. He started each of Ruud van Nistelrooy's 4 games in interim charge, developing a strong bond with Casemiro at the base of United's midfield. It was a partnership that developed over Van Nistelrooy's 4 games at the helm, with the summer signing producing arguably his best performance in United colours in the 3-0 win over Leicester City prior to the international break. The 23-year-old won 8 tackles, the most a United player ever has in a Premier League fixture since such data started being recorded, and produced 3 interceptions against the Foxes, highlighting his ball-winning capabilities in the centre of midfield. His ball-winning expertise is the reason United were so keen to bring him to Old Trafford in the summer. Sporting director Dan Ashworth said at the time of Ugarte's arrival, "Signing Manuel was another of our primary targets for this summer. He is among the very best ball-winning midfield players in the world and has an excellent record at both club and international level. His qualities, experience and passion will be a great complement to our strong group of midfielders." Ugarte provided further evidence of his ball-winning capabilities in Thursday night's 3-2 Europa League win over Bodo Glimt, after being recalled to the starting 18th by Ruben Amorim, who named him on the bench away at Ipswich Town. He won 4 tackles and made 2 interceptions against the Norwegian side. He also provided the assist for Rasmus Højlund's winner. Of course, sterner tests lie ahead for both Ugarte and United, but he has demonstrated in recent weeks he can be the midfield anchor this team has been crying out for. He is the perfect shield for the defence, and his profile makes him the perfect foil for Kobbie Mainoo, who is still waiting to earn his first appearance since Amorim took charge. Ugarte, who worked with Amorim at Sporting Lisbon, will have ambitions of becoming a regular in Amorim's side. Many anticipate he and Mainoo will form Amorim's first-choice midfield partnership. Producing 19 tackles in 6 games since Ten Hag's departure, Ugarte is slowly beginning to show why the Dutchman was wrong to overlook him as often as he did. He has averaged 5.18 tackles per 90 in the Premier League so far this season, the most of any United player who has made 3 appearances or more. It was clear from Ashworth's statement that United had identified Ugarte as the missing link in their midfield because of his defensive profile. They wanted to find someone who could wrestle the ball back and be an elite-level destroyer. Ugarte will only get better the more he plays. United might just have found the ball-winning expert they were desperate for. New Leicester City manager Ruud van Nistelrooy will be watching on as interim Ben Dawson takes charge against Brentford in the Premier League after agreeing to join the Foxes. Incoming, Ruud van Nistelrooy will have a watching brief when Leicester City travel to Brentford on Saturday. Former Manchester United striker Van Nistelrooy was confirmed as Steve Cooper's replacement on Friday, but the appointment was not made in time for him to take charge against Thomas Frank's Bees. Ben Dawson will assume interim charge instead. And asked yesterday to describe his approach, the coach said, "We take a bit of everything." I think there were good elements in how Steve was getting the team to play, but there are areas to improve. Van Nistelrooy was unbeaten during 4 games in interim charge of United following the sacking of Erik Ten Hag. But former Leicester and Arsenal striker Alan Smith has already written off the Dutchman before he gets going in the East Midlands. "I don't see Ruud van Nistelrooy and Leicester as a good match," Smith told Megadice.com. "I feel as though his mind would be elsewhere on the bigger jobs available if he were to do well. He used to be a big-time player, and you carry that attitude through as a coach. He got good experience at PSV Eindhoven, winning a few domestic cups. He has been an assistant with the Netherlands national team, and he impressed whilst he was interim manager of Manchester United. I just wouldn't say he was the right man for Leicester at this stage." Meanwhile, Dawson has said some players have been reprimanded after a video leaked of them next to a board reading "Enzo, I miss you" during their Christmas party in Copenhagen last weekend. While the players were allowed to attend the night out in Denmark, appearing to laugh at a sign referencing former manager Maresca on the same weekend Cooper was sacked has been deemed disrespectful. "The time off was scheduled," Dawson said. "The players are entitled to do what they want with that time off. The particular issue has been dealt with internally, and we've all moved on from it. They've had that key message from the club that what's gone on was not acceptable, and we need to move on. All eyes have since been on training well and putting in a performance tomorrow."